Hey, what's going on, everybody? This your boy Jay Mace, aka Jarrell Mason. Welcome to another episode of Beyond the Album Cover, where we get inside the entertainment industry with those in the know, getting their flowers right here to be celebrated. With me right now, I have a brother that I've seen his grind up close and personal from the days sitting in on Show Smooth Show, Carolina Crunk. Now Chris Lee doing his thing over at WRAL. He's now made his way out to Sin City, Las Vegas, where he can catch a performer on the strip doing this thing. And we're gonna talk about Vegas, the grind, 336, 252, all things NC, and then some with my boy CJ. CJ, welcome to Beyond the Album Cover, bro, and it's been a minute.
What's up, bro? What's up, bro? Yeah, it's been a minute, man. It's been a minute.
Yeah, man. So how you liking Vegas? Let's just jump into Vegas. How you liking Sin City?
I love it, man. It's always something to do. It's always nice weather. It's always like nice outside. The traffic is crazy. The people are crazy, but I love it. It's a lot to do. It's never boring.
Yeah, trust me, I know, because when I'm in New Mexico, Vegas is about an 8 hour drive, so frequent
Whew.
Vegas quite a bit. But for all you first timers that's going to Vegas, I'm gonna tell you right now, the timeshare people will be out in these streets deep trying to
Oh
sell
yeah.
you, hit them with the
Oh
stiff
yeah.
arm, do the Heisman, because they will sucker you. The discounts are great, but you don't want to miss your whole day trying to sit through a timeshare that you ain't gonna
Oh yeah.
get.
They the mafia. They are definitely the mafia out here. The
Yeah,
timeshare
man.
people. And the casino I work for is actually one of the top timeshare places. It's the Westgate. So they're one of the top timeshare places. So yeah, they definitely gonna get you out there. They gonna
Yeah,
get you.
man. So we're gonna end up hopping around this interview, but we're gonna backtrack to the beginning, then we'll get
Okay.
more into Vegas later on. So born and raised 336, right?
I was born in High Point, North Carolina, and we moved to Greensboro when I was maybe one or two. So yeah, my family's from High Point. So yeah,
Okay,
336, born and raised.
okay, HP. So what was that like growing up during the time frame when everything in Greensboro was starting to come together on the hip hop wise scene with 102 just coming on the air a couple years prior, and then you cutting your teeth in the industry with a little known group out. If you know, you know, in the triad, the Busy Boys, which is where
Yes, sir.
young Ski Beats cut his teeth. So let's just talk about all that and just how I feel payroll, that whole story
Yes, sir.
hasn't really been told as far as when we look at NC hip hop.
Okay. Well, I mean, I look younger than I am, so people always think that I'm like younger in my 20s, but I'm actually a lot older than that. But around 89, I think 88 is when Payroll kind of started the label. And my uncle took me to an audition when I was maybe 4 or 5, and while I was dancing in the mall, and then he took me to Payroll Records, which was actually on, was it Florida Street, like over by Smith Homes.
Mhm.
And I went in there and I danced, and they was like Dana Lucci and all them was like, yeah, bring him on board. So I was about 4 or 5 when I started out with Payroll. So yeah, the Greensboro hip hop scene has started booming with Will Ski and Fanatic and Eli and all those people. They really was putting NC on the map when with the Busy Boys and Payroll Records, and I jumped in at a young age. I've been on the right side of hip hop, so yeah, I love that.
Yeah, so were they getting local airplay on 102 at the time? And also I believe they were making some buzz up top in New York with some connections that they had up there as well.
Oh yeah, they had a few connections up there when they with Eli and Roland. They had a couple connections up there, and they started getting music played. And 90.1, was it 90.1 was the radio station in Greensboro? I think that was the time that was over, and they were doing stuff off of there over there too. So yeah,
Okay.
they
Yeah, so I believe you're talking about WNA, right?
yeah, that's the one I think. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, WNA, A&T, and I believe also wasn't Entice a part of that camp as well?
Entice was definitely, she was the first lady of Busy Boy. She had a couple hit songs, and what was the name of the song? I can't think of the name of the song uh right now, but yeah, she was making moves too. Like she was really putting on her bars. She was one of them ones. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I think the Hush Hush tip when I was looking at
Hush Hush Tip.
the
That's it.
video
Hush
for
Hush
that
Tip.
joint, she was rocking the Bennett sweatshirt.
Oh yeah, she was rocking Bennett. She was all over Greensboro. She was at Auntie on campus shooting that. She was at Bennett shooting that. Yeah, I was young, so like I just had a crush on her because I was just a kid around. So yeah,
Yeah, just riding
yeah.
around, just being in the back seat and just thinking, you had a front row seat to early NC hip hop, and then the later C where Ski Beats went to with original
Yeah,
flavor, producing music
yeah.
without for Jay-Z, Camp Low, and just knowing that man, I was at the ground floor, and then
Oh yeah.
hearing Sparks producing Crush on You for Lil Kim, and just hearing all these names making moves in hip hop, and to think it all started, with payrolling in Greensboro.
Right there, like payroll pushed out so many people. They pushed out the Mark Sparks, and then Ski did his thing, and then Fanatic he produced for MJ and people like that, and like it really pushed out a lot of talent. Like it's just that's the label that started it all was with payroll, and then everybody that branched out from that, like Move and Groove, and I was one of the dancers, CJ Smooth, but they even went on to do production for people like Trey Songz, 8 Ball, MJG. Like it's just that payroll fingerprint or thumbprint that it touches is so it's everywhere. You even got with Anthony Hamilton being part of that lineage and everything too. So
Mhm.
it reached out.
Yeah, the tentacles really spread. Now, coming off of that, going to school and everything, were you involved in chorus, musical theater? How did your love of the arts come about?
Yeah, I've always been dancing since I was 5. So I've always been singing and rapping, but never thought about really pursuing it until I got to around middle school, around 7th grade. 6th grade, I did a solo. I did 16 candles in chorus because when they put you in 6th grade, you got to do every elective. So actually, when I got to chorus, they gave me a solo in the concert, and I really didn't want to do it. But when I did it and I heard all the girls scream, I said, "Oh, this is the dream. This is what I want to do." So from that point on, from 6th grade, 16 candle solo, I just jumped in the chorus in 7th grade, 8th grade, got into it in high school, was doing band. Um, and then I did all the choral festivals in high school. I did all county, all state, Mars Hill. I had a scholarship to do choral. I did a lot of things that had to do with the music business. I even did electronic music over at Weaver. I took dance over at Weaver. So yeah, I was setting up my course for what I wanted to do with my life.
Mhm. So you were pretty much doing it all, and you were almost, I could kind of tell, like the family entertainment at cookouts, gatherings. Say, CJ, come do that dance.
Oh
CJ,
yeah.
come sing
Oh
that
yeah.
song.
Oh yeah, like the one of the ways I was discovered was my mom and my family would have me dancing at Monroe's. If anybody from Greensboro knows, in the 80s and the 90s, Monroe's was like almost like a hood Sonic. It was a burger spot where everybody went and they hung out, and my mom would have me out there dancing at 5, 6, 7 years old, making change, and like that was the spot. Like cookouts, singing at funerals, singing at weddings. That was what I did. Like I knew what I wanted to do.
You pretty much knew from an early age
Yeah.
what you wanted to do, and then also I'm sure too listening to whatever 102 or at the time Power 97 was blasting out along with what was being seen on BT MTV.
Oh, absolutely. Like music was everywhere back then. Like back then you had music videos, you had video music box, you had cable 8, you had like all the stuff on cable 8, like all that stuff was just everywhere back then. Now it's kind of, nobody really listens to the radio as much, or there's no videos out, but it was everywhere. So yeah, that influence was heavy. And I listened to everything from rock music to country music to hip hop to R&B. So even at a young age I was listening to country. So yeah.
A little bit of everything. I think the one thing that benefited you by being in the triad is that Greensboro is pretty much a tour stop for most
Right.
acts when they come through because it's not too far from the Triangle. You're not too far from Charlotte. It's
Right.
on the way down to ATL, so you knew you was gonna get somebody to come through the Coliseum.
Oh yeah, Greensboro Coliseum was where it was at. I mean, everybody came through the Greensboro Coliseum. It like War Memorial Auditorium. Even I performed in there. So like everybody came through Greensboro. Elvis came through Greensboro, and Salt and Pepper, and Backstreet Boys, all the way to DMX. So yeah, like Greensboro is one of the melting pots where you had a lot of people from the north move down to Greensboro, and a lot of people had roots in Greensboro. So a lot of artists would come there because they knew that their family had roots there, so they would all come in and like mingle there. So yeah.
Yeah, surprising, like you said, a lot of folks, who maybe lived up north, whatever, what have you, has NC roots, and a lot of them,
Mhm.
after living the days out, would move down south because cost of living is cheap, whatnot, what
Right.
have you. And then, of course, peak time when the Coliseum was really lit was Super Jam.
Oh, we Super Jam was that time.
It
Super
was it
Jam
was a
was,
time to be
man.
alive out in the
Super
streets
man.
on High Point Road, though.
If you was not out in the streets during Super Jam, you missed out on everything. Homecoming and Super Jam was like, man, Super Jam. You can't even really explain Super Jam to anybody that wasn't there because it's just nothing to compare it to
Mm.
anywhere. Like I've been around the world and it's nothing that compares to High Point Road during Super Jam. Like nothing.
Yeah, man, you hear the ads on 102, bumper stickers, everybody getting fresh, probably going to Rent and
Right.
Roll, somebody's barber shop,
They going to Rent and Roll.
yeah. Hey man, you go be flossing, but you
For the
gotta make sure you
weekend.
get for the weekend though. I mean, either did meet up at Atlantis or somewhere, you
Yep, you're
know,
gonna.
you,
Oh man, Atlantis. You going to Jabs? You going to Devereaux's? Man,
the In
even we
Club.
had a little nice. We had a little nice spot over there, right down High Point Road. We had a little spot for like 2 Super Jams, and it was. Oh man, it was crazy. It was
Mm,
crazy.
yeah, man, kind of sounds like G-Ho with A&T. They say it's the best homecoming on earth, but
It
I
is.
remember, I think it was '05. I think that was the one where Jeezy came and performed.
Oh, I think it was a Jeezy, T Pain. I think Buster Rhymes. Like it was crazy.
Yeah, it was a crazy run because I remember a lot of my friends that went to G, they knew a lot of people at T, and they would call them like, "Hey, can I get those student tickets on the low?"
Yeah, everybody was trying to get them student tickets, man. Like we was getting student tickets, and we wasn't even students at the time over there. And it was man, super jamming. G Ho concert was yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it was the time to be alive, and with the
Oh yeah.
triad, you got all the colleges right there with UNCG, A&T, Bennett, Greensboro College. You also
Hmm.
have Guilford College, and then right up the way up 40, you got Winston-Salem State, Wake Forest, and then other way like going towards Triangle, all the Triangle schools. You got
Right,
Elon right there too, and
right,
you're not far away from all the schools in Charlotte. So Greensboro
right.
is a good melting pot where all those areas can kind of converge and merge.
Oh yeah, I mean, and when it comes to like college concerts and Super Jam and like G-Ho, I've been involved in that ever since I was with the Busy Boys. We were doing college shows when I was 5 or 6 years old. I remember having people backstage and Heavy D walk by and he bumped me and I fell like, and my mom was like, "That's Heavy D," and like ever since then I wanted to be like Heavy D. That was like a big influence and mentor type guy in my life, and RIP Heavy D. But we was doing stuff with like Salt and Pepper, like them college shows. I was a 5 year old, and it was just like seeing that audience and that crowd back then, even to this day, just nothing
Yes.
matches that.
So you were witnessing greatness at a young age.
At a young age, yeah, meeting acts like Houdini and Heavy D and Salt and Pepper. It was just like wow, wow.
Mm. Yeah. Now, who were some of the artists growing up that inspired you to get into the game and put that battery in the back?
From an early age, it was definitely Crisscross. Crisscross is the first tape I owned. The White Jump Jump single was the first tape I had, and then from there we had Will Ski was definitely somebody who I was writing raps around trying to be like that, and I produce beats now because of him. A lot of my production comes from his teachings and his style. Michael Jackson, definitely Michael Jackson. um, Immature was one of the first concerts I ever went to, and that was one of my that was a great concert. Immature 702 and Lil Sammy, I think it was Lil Sammy or one of those guys. But yeah, like that was big influences for me. But mostly Michael Jackson, James Brown, Chris Cross, like just all that stuff. Elvis Presley. So
Yeah, can't go wrong with that. Let's talk about Crisscross for a moment, man.
let's do
Both
it.
of
Let's
us,
do it.
both of us kids in the '90s, Crisscross was a movement, people. I
Oh yeah.
mean,
Oh yeah.
Jump, huge pop record crossover. They were opening up for Michael Jackson. Had the Sega Make My Video on Sega CD. And I
Yep.
don't know if you know, you probably may know, but of course, DJ Nabs is from Durham.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Well, I mean, Jermaine Dupri is also from North Carolina. So a lot of people don't know that. So, but yeah, Jermaine
Mm-hmm.
Dupri is from North Carolina. And Jump was actually a diss record. A lot of people don't know it was
Mm-hmm.
actually a diss record. And it was basically to Another Bad Creation. That was kind
Mm-hmm.
of Jermaine Dupri was writing writing their records, and he kind of was, you know, that whole Dallas Austin Jermaine Dupri feud was kind of a thing back then.
Yeah, and you mentioned Houdini earlier. You know, Jermaine
Yeah,
Dupri got to start cutting his teeth working on
right.
Fresh Fest with his dad, Michael Malden, being a promoter of the tour. Then, of course, Jermaine Dupri had early success in the business with Silk Times Leather. And then, of course, he tells a story about discovering Chris Cross in Greenbrier Mall, where they were
Yep,
just walking
yep.
around, girls were just falling out. He was like, "What do y'all do?" And Chris
They
Cross
was
said,
like,
we don't do nothing.
we don't do nothing. We just us.
I mean, you getting free clothes from somewhere, getting free cookies from Great American Cookie Company. I mean,
Right,
you can't beat that. And then you go in the studio, you cut a record, and next thing you know, you're on tour with Michael Jackson, and y'all are crossover sensation. But
right.
let's not skip over the fact too that ABC was no slouches either, because they were
Oh
putting up
no.
numbers too with what
Right,
they were doing. And
right,
I'm thinking
right.
had both JD and Michael Bivins came together and said, "Yo, both our young cats are hot from Atlanta. Let's put
Right.
them together and let's go round run it and do this thing, man. Because I would have lost my mind.
Me too. That would have been a sold out. That would have been like Breezy Bowl numbers. They would have had to put them in arenas and baseball stadiums if they would have
Mm,
did another bad creation and crisscross together. That would have been insane for us. We would
yeah,
our minds would have exploded to see them together.
yeah,
Crazy.
and yeah, it would have been crazy with the airbrush overalls, with the starter jacket, the starter Hornets cap, and
Yep.
all of that jazz. Now, graduating high school, what
Hmm.
was your next step to get into the game? Was it like I'm gonna go to school, do my thing, or just go full throttle and try to break into the industry?
Well, right out of high school, I had I went to North Carolina A&T, but then some family complications came up, and I just started doing like I was like I need to work. So like I couldn't really focus on my higher education and my career because it was mostly like I got to be the man in the house. So
Mm,
that was my thing. But at the same time I was still making music, putting out mixtapes and like running with some artists and doing some things. So like doing open mics and performing and selling beats and stuff like that. So yeah, I was active, but like not as much as I wanted to be because I
mm.
was working. But yeah, but like my goal wasn't musical theater or anything because I really wasn't trying to do that. But it just if it landed in my lap, but
Mm.
I knew I wanted to do music, but I just didn't know on what way I was going to do it.
Right. And it was also kind of like right around that same time frame, like '05, '06, '07, where you and
Right.
I, you know, first met and became good friends and ended up clicking and linking up.
Absolutely. It was right around that time I was working with that's when I met up with my boy Jay Beats and we started doing our thing with CFE and all that. And then we came up and met y'all at the up at UNCG, and that's when we linked up and started doing the radio thing. And I would come up there and I would freestyle, like do my thing.
Yeah, doing the thing in the basement of Brown, and then we moved to Taylor, and it
Right.
was just the time, man. And UNCG, I think best kept secret for all the schools in NC. I'm not saying that because I'm a proud alum of UNCG, but UNCG is HBCU adjacent. I mean, the only time
Yeah.
you knew the
Yeah.
black folks out at
Yeah.
G was when it was probate and then when it was basketball season, because we ain't got no football team though.
Yeah. I mean, we would hang out over there on y'all strip all the time. So like we was over there a lot. Like it was so many girls over there and like so much to do over there. So yeah, it was HBCU adjacent. Like it was like the little brother of A&T. Like that's where everybody would go hang out when we didn't want to be over at T.
Yeah, especially when the weather got warm, the fountain was the spot, man. You could it would be like spring break and MTV in the front, BT spring bling in the back.
I got a whole video of a girl after we did a talent show over there. She jumped in the fountain because she was like, I want an autograph and I love you. You so good in the talent show. I'm gonna jump in this in like she jumped in the fountain. It's on YouTube. It's like
What?
she really did it. And I don't know why she did it, but she did it. Like we was
Man,
out there.
man, that's crazy. And then also at that same time too, being in UNCG at that era on the sports tip, we also got to witness the young chef cook before he became the greatest shooter of all time in the NBA. You
Yes,
know,
sir.
seeing Steph up close and personal, and then just seeing where he now got kids shooting from the logo and saying, "Forget being like Mike. I want to be like Steph."
Exactly. Exactly. He changed the game of basketball. Like nobody was taking that many 3-pointers before Steph. Like now is the game is just everybody's training to shoot threes. So yeah, that was another North Carolina, another thumbprint. It's all
Yeah,
around.
yeah, man. Because I remember the first game I saw Davidson play us at Fleming Coliseum, and
Mm.
it was to where who's this little bitty boy? Look, could have been no more than 150 soaking wet, looking like Robert Richard in Nickelodeon Sports Theater, Mr. 4 Points. I mean, barely could get the shot up and whatnot, but I knew he was gonna have a role in the league because he could shoot. Because of course his pops Dale Curry could shoot the rock,
Yes, sir.
but
Yes,
didn't
sir.
think that he would be the game changing player that he is, where it's NBA 75, multiple champ. And like we mentioned earlier, you got kids saying, forget dunking, I'm going to shoot threes.
I'm shooting threes. I thought his brother was going to be one of those. I thought his brother was going to be the one, but he
Mm-hmm.
came up and just changed the game.
Almost kind of sound like situation with Giannis and I think Thanasis, because it was what Thanasis was pegged as the one,
Right,
but
right,
Giannis came and
right,
just surpassed him. But
right,
both brothers in the league still,
right.
and making a role for themselves, and to just think about all the talent that came out of NC and still coming out of the state, at least from my perspective, being from the 252 side of the state,
Oh
it's
yeah,
good to see 252 finally get a lot of recognition on, hip hop side, and more than just the Kinston pipeline of all the basketball players coming out of Kinston. That
right.
when you think of NC culture, especially hip hop, you think of 336, 919,
919.
and
Yeah, yeah.
910, but with Rhapsody and other rappers coming out of 252 really saying like, hey, we more than just sticks, trees, and dirt. 252, we got
Right.
something to say over here on this side of the state.
And Rhapsody's one of them ones. Like I want to produce for her so bad. Like I got some stuff that I really want to do for her, and like she's coming out of there swinging, like swinging for
Hmm.
the fences. And I want more people to know about Rhapsody. Like,
Yeah, yeah, Rhapsody's cold, man.
oh
And
yeah.
also, NC, to me, one of the groups that I felt came out too early when social media was in its infancy. I'm glad people now are really giving them their flowers as they're now getting ready to take their final lap, and that's Little Brother.
Oh yeah, little brother, definitely. That's another Greensboro. That's another Greensboro situation with Pooh with Pooh coming out of the Greensboro. So yeah, I mean, little brother is one of those groups that everybody can say that they inspired to be, but then when they
Hmm.
didn't get the flowers that they deserved, they tried to move on to say other groups. But Cole, all of them, they respect. Even Drake got his
Hmm.
influence from Little Brother. Like Little Brother is definitely, and I love that Little Brother gave a shout out to Busy Boys on their last album. That really made me smile.
Yeah, because I remember they came to G to do a promo run for the minstrel show, and I got a chance to take a picture with Ninth and Rapper Big Pooh. If Fonte wasn't there, but to
Mhm.
just think about, with them finally signing to a major and having that's this, and then them going on to doing what they're doing, and of course Ninth going to produce the biggest people in the world, and to just say like, man, from right here in North Carolina. I mean, we're
Right.
more than just the place that brought you Pepsi, Michael Jordan, Texas Pete,
Right.
Hardee's, and and Bojangles.
Right. And I might have said that wrong. I think it's Fonte from
Yeah,
Greensboro.
I think Fonte's
Fonte
from
from
Greensboro.
Greensboro.
I think
Right.
Pooh is from VA, I think.
Right. Because I'm cool with Fonte's little brother. So yeah, like
Okay,
that's what I
cool.
meant. I spoke out
Yeah,
of turn on that one. But
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
like North Carolina, we got it. We got it, man. Like Cheerwine, Krispy Kreme, like you can't deny it. As much as people want to deny it, you can't deny it, man. Like Michael Jordan, you can't deny it.
Yeah, I mean, even though New York tried to claim, I mean, he was raised in North
Yeah,
Carolina. He went to
right,
school at
right,
Laney and Wilmington. Went to
right.
the greatest college in the world, Tar Heels. Sorry,
It
Duke.
only exactly Tar Heels all day. It only matters where you went, where you lived when you was in middle school. Like where you live from middle school on is where it matters. Like
Hmm.
that's how I see it. Because everybody
Yeah.
wants to say Tupac from New York, but I mean, hey, Atlanta claims Tupac. So a lot of places
Mm-hmm.
claim Tupac. Atlanta,
Mm-hmm.
LA, the Bay, like everywhere claim Tupac.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm. Now, we were talking before coming on. You were saying that back when you were a teen, the teen scene and the triad during that time period was very popular. So, can we talk about that, and what were some of
oh
the
yeah,
haunts
oh
that a
yeah.
lot of the teens were kind of frequent during that time period?
Well, the teen scene in Greensboro or in the Triad period was amazing. We had the Playpen, we had I think Bears Den, we had the Depot, which was now the the Greyhound station in downtown Greensboro. We had all that spot, like the house parties that we would throw. Those were crazy. But the one on I think Freeman Mill Road was either Playpen or Bears Den. I can't remember which one it was, but that was the teen spot. And if you was a teen and you had a song out, that's where you would go and get it played as well. But that when the Percolator came out, if anybody from Greensboro, y'all know the nightclub at the top of the street on Freeman Mill Road or Phillips Avenue, right there is Playpen Play. I'm getting old. I can't remember the name, but right there on like either Phillips Avenue or Freeman Mill, like one of those. I think it's Phillips Avenue. But the teen scene, the depot with the colored floors, it was it. That was everything. That was everything.
Yeah, and plus y'all had a bevy of schools too, so I know
Oh
y'all
yeah.
had a fine pick of the litter as far as ladies
Oh yeah.
goes.
Oh God, yeah. We especially when if you went to Weaver Academy, you definitely knew because Weaver is where everybody from all over the county would come. Like that was like an elective based school. So you could take dance. I took dance there. I took electronic music. You can do art, you can do culinary arts, you can do all that. So from every high school, people would come there during the school day and take their academic or it was an academy, so that's where you would see all the girls from Dudley, Smith, Page, Ragsdale, Grimsley. Like that's where y'all would meet. But then you would meet there and you would tell everybody to meet at the club. So when you knew at the club, you already knew people from all these schools. So yeah, you had the pick of the litter when it came to the girls from every school.
Yeah, back in my way, we didn't really have team clubs like that. The thing was I mean, we had the skating rink. That was about it. But on certain nights of the month, they would turn the skating rink into a nightclub or whatever for teens, and would throw a little dance party and whatnot. And this was back when throwback jerseys, tall tees was
Oh man.
was 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 running. We were going to J.C. Penney's, getting the St. John's Bay shirts,
Yes,
looking fresh
sir.
to death, polo Kanye and all that. So it was times, man. But just thinking about that era and just thinking early 2000s, we were in a great run of music. When you think about it, when ATL Snap Crunk was out,
Hmm.
T-Pain's run, Akon's run,
Oh yeah.
and
Oh
just
yeah.
now that we're so far removed, we're looking at it with a new lens of appreciation. Because I didn't care for Laffy Taffy, still don't, but still have an appreciation. I mean, whenever I see a Chico stick, all I hear is duh, 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 and want to start snapping.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
man. That
but
was an era. That was an era.
it was a time, man, and just thinking about how also too social media was just in its infancy too. I mean, Facebook, it
Right.
was the Facebook at the
Right.
time, and you had to be a college student
Right.
in order to get on. But it was kind of like we were able to enjoy that last bit of having fun without dry snitching on yourself and telling everybody your business.
And that's the thing. That was the thing back then. You had MySpace, you had Black Planet, you had Moco Space, you had all those things that you just get on and have a good time. And nobody was on there trying to do clout. It wasn't clout chasing because nobody really cared. Like we were just on there to have fun. And like the only clout you wanted was to have my top 8 on MySpace be all cool people.
Yeah,
That's the clout you wanted. Like nobody
yeah,
cared. Now it's all about how many likes you get
nah,
and that's why the music is not the same because people are only making music for the algorithm. Like it's all
hmm
about let me make this song that's a minute and 20 seconds long so it don't go over the time limit and everybody can do a dance to it or make a funny video to it on TikTok and it's no passion in it. It's all about like I know an artist on TikTok who literally made maybe 30 songs this year or between this year and last year and they're only popular on TikTok. Like
hmm
it's literally like 15 to 30 seconds of somebody doing a dance and he blew up off of that. But when it comes to the music business, he's really not really making any moves in the music business. But
yeah,
it's all about making music for the algorithm.
yeah, because when you think about streaming and TikTok and all the social media platforms, it's all about trending, seeing what's popular, and then of course the royalty rates for these streaming services is funky too. Because you can have a
Horrible.
million streams, but you getting Death Row Records money.
Oh, you worse than Death Row Records. You getting done dirty. It's you got to get what 700 plays for $1, and that's just on title. I think 1,000 plays is $1 on Spotify. It's horrible. It doesn't even it makes no sense. You make more money just going to do shows somewhere and just performing in small clubs. Like that's about it.
Yeah,
It's bad.
man. Yeah, it's terrible, man. So we got to do something about that too. Now, I was curious
Mhm.
to know, were you ever in a group situation, try to put together a group situation getting in, or what did you always have in the mind that I want to be a solo artist?
I was in a group coming out of high school. Me and my best friend Haywood, we was in a group called the 336 Boys before the DJ Luke and that 336 Boys. They were from High Point, but we were 336 Boys in Greensboro, and we were a group. We had a couple songs out, but that didn't go as we wanted it to. So it was more so like when Haywood kind of moved, we kind of just started doing our own solo stuff. But we had a couple mixtapes and but other than that, it was just, it really we didn't take it as serious as we wanted to.
Mhm.
But that was the only group I was a part of. Everything else was mostly like
Was
solo stuff.
mostly solo, on the solo tip, yeah.
Yeah.
So, when you think about groups, we gotta mention this one group coming from the crib, influenced every male R&B group to come after them. You know who I'm talking about. KC, JoJo, Dalvin, and Devontae, better known
Yes,
as
sir.
Jodeci.
Casey, JoJo. Oh yeah. Hey, them boys, they came straight out of the crib. Came straight out of the crib and blew up. They arguably the number top three R&B group of all time. Arguably.
Hmm.
Like, and everybody want to argue, I'm gonna put them at one and two.
Yeah, yeah, man. Jodeci, cutting their teeth in the industry. Of course, both of them come from gospel family. Casey and
Right.
JoJo, Haley
Right.
Singers, and Dalvin Devontae,
Right.
gospel group there. And then, of course, they went over and everything is R&B history after that. And then also, too, Rico Barrino come out of there, get
That's family.
Fantasia
That's family.
come
Yep,
out of
that's
there.
family.
I remember seeing Fantasia it was a year or so after she won American Idol. She was
Mhm.
performing at Solaris downtown, and it was with Gav Beats.
Yep,
And I just remember
that's
being down there
family
and
right
just
there.
hearing her, and seeing him. I was just like, yo, man, that's crazy. I also think at that same time too, when we linked up, because I remember Gav Beats would come through to the station as well, and also T Weezy would come through too. And I remember seeing, the Hamiltons and seeing T Weezy.
Right, right.
Yo, I remember seeing them when it would come on Chris's show. So it's crazy to see how all this talent,
Hmm.
came from the triad and to see where they are now is just crazy to see.
And I'm like, and I want to stop now and say we appreciate you and Chris for definitely opening the door for a lot of us local artists to come up there and like have a platform, man. Like we appreciate y'all for that, man. Like people don't know that station definitely helped a lot of people's confidence and just getting out there and doing what we wanted to do.
Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah, man. I was talking with Jack Bonnie, who was GM at UAG when I was there, and put me on, and we were just talking about that whole time was really special with Chris, myself, DJ F, Section 8, even, when DJ B Man would come through and would do stuff, on my show and whatnot, and to
Hmm.
see all his mixes and stuff getting retweeted and sent out by the heavy hitters. I
Oh yeah.
mean, big names, and it's just crazy to say that we played a little part in that.
Hmm.
It was just amazing. And of course, to see you where you are now, in
Yes,
Las
sir.
Vegas doing your thing. And now, prior to Vegas, did you
Hmm.
have to go audition for different dinner theater shows, or how does that work? Do you have to audition? Do you get contracted? Explain the process of going through that whole thing.
Okay, so around like 2006, 2005, 6, 7, I was in a band, Artistic Theory. We was killing Greensboro. Like we was a dope band. And then I got in another band, Multiple Intelligence. But one of my band members in Artistic Theory, which is a friend of mine from high school, he wanted me to come audition with him for a Motown show, actually, which is crazy. My first show ever was a Motown show, and now I'm doing a Motown show in Vegas. But in 2008, I went to an audition for a Motown show at the Barn Dinner Theater in Greensboro, and I got in that show, and then my love for theater kind of just like came out of nowhere. And so from that point on, I went to Virginia. I auditioned for shows in Virginia, sent in videos, submissions, got in shows there, and then I went to Chicago. I went to Illinois. I went to Atlanta. Like so, yeah, you just auditioning for shows and constantly sending in submissions and constantly sending in like I've worked in maybe 6 states doing musical theater, and then I auditioned for Universal Studios Japan, and then I got in that show, but then they closed that show and created something else. So in the midst of that, the way God works is I got my passport to go to Japan, but then that failed. But then I got an email for a tour to go to Germany to do gospel music. So then I submitted my stuff to that, and then I got that tour, and I went and did Germany for 2 Christmases. I went over there and toured in Europe for 2 Christmases from 2018, and then I did it in 2019, and then COVID happened. So that was like right around the time I got in Solo Motown. So I did the tour, and then I came back. I got in Solo Motown. I did the tour again, and then we got Vegas, and so then I came back to America once COVID happened.
Yeah, man. So what was it like touring abroad and just seeing the way that the international countries view US culture, especially black cultures that, they love the culture, but don't really know the history behind it. We're the great exporters of the
Right,
world, but
right.
not everything else that comes with it, though.
They love us over there. I mean, certain places. When I would go to small German towns, it would be more so like looked at like a novelty. Like they know the black gospel music, they know the Amazing Grace and the Negro spirituals, but they just know it from listening. They haven't
Mhm.
really seen too many black people in a town. It'd be a small town, population maybe 400, and there's no black people in that town. So they see you and they're like, it's a real black person. But they never was it never was rude or anything or gave us any problems. Like the only problem I ever had was with another black person that lived in that town. That was the only issue I ever had. But we got through that. It wasn't really that big of a thing. But they don't even speak English, but they knew every word to the black gospel songs, like
Mhm.
every word. And it was crazy. But they love us over there, and I'm ready to
Yeah.
get back over there.
Yeah, man, the international scene is crazy, and I want to go back for a minute. You said Immature was
Mhm.
one of your first concerts, and I don't
Oh
want to
yeah.
breeze by Immature because Immature was something else, boy.
Right, right. Man, Marcus Houston, Batman, Romeo, LDB, like they set the foundation for young black singers. They set the
Hmm.
foundation. They definitely did. That
Yeah,
that was a time.
yeah. Let's not also forget too. They gave us the cult classic House Party 3. Some of y'all was doing with them PPP loans, but they did with that Las Vegas check.
That's exactly. You can pop this check. That was that was literally the PPP loan. And Chris Tucker had it. Chris Tucker went down in the pants and got it for him, man. Like that was it, man. I wanted to be Marcus Houston so bad when I was little. Like I wore the big baggy clothes. I wanted my hair like that. I wanted to be in Immature. And then like in high school, I wanted to be in B2K. Like that's what I wanted to do.
Yeah, and B2K, when I interviewed Brooke Payne back on the time sheet. We're going to talk about New Edition in just a
Oh
moment.
yeah. Oh
Just
yeah.
I was talking about to him how I felt like at the time when B2K was out, they had that same pop crossover appeal that New Edition had during
Hmm.
that mid 80s run with Cooling Now, Mr. Telephone Man, when the pop presence really took off. And then I think to me, what really let me know that they were the serious deal was Got to Be, because I didn't care for
Oh
Uh-Huh
yeah.
when it first came out. Cause I thought it was for the girls. I was hating. I was hating. I mean, I'm not saying that because one of the members got the same name as me, although spelled different. But just hearing when I interviewed Steve Russell from Troop, he was telling
Right.
me
Right.
how Gatsby came to be, where he went to Sony talking to the exec, and the exec told him he's a Troop fan and we want a song
Hmm.
similar like Troop for this young group we got. And boom, that's how Gatsby
Oh
came to
yeah.
B2K. And B2K, they were huge.
They were huge. Like I went to all the Scream concerts and I took my little cousins. Like I like that. B2K was one of them groups that there'll never be another one of those when it comes
Mhm.
to like the 4-man team group. And when it comes to black groups like K-pop, they definitely gonna do it. But like with B2K, like it was a window of opportunity open right there, and they kicked it in. They kicked the door in.
Yeah, they kicked it in. Of course, Chris Stokes behind that, also behind Immature as well.
Hmm.
And I mentioned we could talk about New Edition, but you mentioned the Scream tours,
Right.
and I'm so glad now people are giving Bow Wow his flowers.
I wanted to, when I was talking about Crisscross and all that, the Bow Wow Bounce With Me single was the first CD I owned. Like the
Mhm.
Crisscross was the first tape, but Bow Wow CD was the first CD I owned when it came to like my own personal CD. I knew that word for word. Like people can say what they want about Bow, but he's one of those ones. Like we challenged each other to a Madden game during the Scream. Well, it might have been Scream 4, one of those tours, but we ended up talking on like MySpace or something. And we was like, we're gonna play Madden when we see each other, and it just never happened. But Bow is one of them artists that people don't give enough credit to, and it really don't make sense. Like it really don't make sense. Like I don't care about his online antics or what he done, but Bow is really one of them ones when it comes to like history of hip hop. He's been doing it for a long time. And he's still relevant today.
Yeah, got his start being with Snoop. He was in the Gin and Juice video and then ended up
Right,
hooking up with JD. And it seems like JD has that magic sauce when it comes to working with young guys. We mentioned Chris
right.
Cross, Bow Wow, and of course, once Usher
TLC.
got with him, TLC. It seems like JD just has that magic element when it comes
Right,
to that. And then also, when you think of him, you think of Atlanta and also with what LaFace did when they brought headquarters down there,
right,
and then everything to come after that with Outkast, Organized Noise, T.I., Luda, and how we mentioned at the show. Here's how I'm going to tie it all back in to ABC
right.
and Criss Cross. That they were the jump start for all of that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They were. I want more people to go back and do their history on early hip hop, like Atlanta hip hop when it comes to Jermaine Dupri. Like if Jermaine Dupri and Diddy did the verses like they were supposed to, Jermaine Dupri would have cleared. Like I
Mm,
love Diddy, but Jermaine Dupri is like he been doing it for way too long, and he got way too many genres of music that he can do. And
mm.
it just people don't give him his respect. Like they don't give him his credit for that.
He
Like they don't
just
give him his
goes
credit
about
for
his
starting that.
business. Goes about his business. Don't really toot his own horn like that. He just go and just puts out material. Now, with you being in Vegas,
Mm-hmm.
where did the perception flip where Vegas at one point in time was looked at as a graveyard where careers go to die? But
Right,
where we're seeing now, with Backstreet Boys doing numbers at the Spear, all the shows
right,
on the Strip, and all the various artists coming in to do short-term, long-term residencies, that it's almost where it's like, hey, if I got a brand and a built-in catalog, I can play the long game if I don't want to go tour, or I can play the
right.
short game where I can get this Vegas money and go out and get this tour paper too. So where do you think the perception flip, seeing it from the viewpoint with you being a performer on the Vegas Strip?
I think that that perspective changed recently, actually. Like maybe within the last 6, 7 years, maybe. I know, like when we first got our residency, it was still kind of looked at like Vegas is a place where old acts go, and a lot of people didn't want to come here. But I think the one thing that really flipped it on his head was the Usher concert. When Usher
Mm,
came and got the publicity that he got from it and the money that he got from it, then it was like Bruno came and then like Mariah, like all these people were coming, but they didn't really want to stay. They didn't really take a full length residency. But Usher kind of made it to where it was cool again. It was like you can bring a younger audience because before it was like people were coming like Janet, Mariah, but their audiences weren't younger audiences. They were their fan base who was gonna come anyway. But Usher brought a different type of fan. He brought his fans, he brought young people to Vegas, and like people really saw that this is where we want to be. And now everybody's coming here. Even if it's
yeah,
for a weekend, like everybody is coming to Vegas.
yeah, man, because I just read an article about the money that some of these women are dropping to go to the Backstreet Boys show at the Spear,
Oh
and the
God, yeah.
prices alone
Oh
for
God, yeah.
tickets, airfare, hotel. They making a good grip, and to
Oh
just
yeah.
think of how, for an act that was looked at as a boy band to where they're selling out the Spear and doing numbers, probably
Right.
got other acts thinking like, in sync, we need to take notes.
If NSYNC comes, they're gonna sell out every day. Backstreet Boys are selling out the Sphere, but NSYNC is a different monster. I went and saw New Kids on the Block recently at their
Mm.
residency, and I was blown away. It took me back to like childhood. So if NSYNC comes, like it's gonna be definitely crazy.
Yeah, it's gonna be trouble, trouble, trouble. I had a chance to see Boyz II Men do their residency out there. Got to see a New Kids tour stop out there, and Janet's Metamorphosis residency
Right.
out there. I mean, the seats were nosebleeds, but I was in there.
She's actually here now at the Resorts World. I'm trying to see her as soon as possible.
I was in there. I mean, just to see her, and I was like, man, this is the closest to Michael I'm gonna get. But just to
Right,
see,
right.
her movements and everything still crisp and clean, it's like wow, which is so dope. Then also too, New Edition just had a residency out there not too long ago,
Yep.
selling out
Yep.
numbers, doing their thing, and we recording this interview on Labor Day, and on the 30th of August, they just got a street named after him in Boston, New Edition Way in Roxbury, which is long
Yes.
overdue. Because to me, it kind of felt like after the miniseries, they've been getting their long overdue flowers for what they meant for the culture
Right.
and for the music business in general. They are the blueprint for the modern day boy band. No
Hmm.
them, no New Kids, no Backstreet Boys, no NSYNC, no
Right.
LFO, no
Right.
other boy group in the last 40 plus years have been influenced directly or indirectly by New Edition or one of the solo entities.
Right. Right. All of them. Like you break the group up, they literally have created everything. You got Michael Bivins, whose hand has been in everything when it comes to kid groups, all that stuff. Then you got Bobby Brown, who changed the game for male R&B singers to not have to wear a suit and be a bad boy and can showcase that flair. Then you got Belle Biv DeVoe, who hip hop R&B together. Like it's yeah, New Edition is the blueprint for like after them, everything that's coming in black music, even white music, everything that's come after them has been around them. Like even choreography wise, you got Brooke Payne,
Mm-hmm.
who like dance steps are literally people are eating his dance steps and using them to this day.
And when you think about the whole K-pop movement, it's pretty much the late 90s, early 2000s teen pop on
Right,
steroids. And I'm sure, of course, they paid attention to New Edition, to all the bands that
right,
came before them. And you mentioned New Kids earlier, and how with their residency, still packing out, still selling out shows, and how New Kids, a lot of people don't know, they were originally marketed as an R&B group. They did a bootleg
right,
video that was on BET. Then, of course, once Pop got a hold of them, that's when they reshot and the marketing changed. But to think about a black man, Maurice Starr, had
hmm,
his hand in two of the biggest pop R&B groups in the world. Their
absolutely.
legacy
And
is
New
still
Kids
being
is
felt to
from
this
the
day.
hood. And New Kids is actually from the hood in Boston. So they weren't just some teeny bopper boys. Like they were really rough. They were bad boys. And they to this
Hmm.
day still have that image of like we bad boys. Like they just went pop because it was more marketable. Like they were going to make more money in that lane. Like so
Hmm.
yeah. And
Yeah.
Maurice Starr really saw let's make a lighter version of New Edition and we can market it on both ends of the spectrum. He was
Hmm.
smart. He was smart.
Yep. Yep. It made money too. And one band who I felt R&B wise, the real ones know this group was my second favorite group to New Edition, Troop.
Oh God, yeah. Oh God, yeah. They were neck and neck when it came to singing and choreography with New Edition. They was right there. Like you put Troop and New Edition on a tour, you sweating. By the end of the concert, you were dripped, you drenched because they dancing all night
Yeah,
long.
yeah, man. Because to me, the Spread My Wings video, number two favorite video choreograph wise, besides If It Isn't Love. But that whole
Hmm.
video was so cold, and I didn't find this out till later that Tony Basil did choreography for the Spread My Wings video.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So yeah, I
So
mean it all correlates. It all correlates. Yeah,
in
yeah.
Troop's dance style, when you look at their videos, they were more of a, they're considered, of course, the West Coast version of New Edition. A lot of their
Hmm.
dancing was very West Coast influence with waving, tutting, a lot of things we necessarily really didn't see back east or down
Right.
south, because that was
Right.
primarily more of a West Coast style of dance, while New Edition, of course, with Brooke Payne, coming from the school of Charlie Atkins, being influenced by Blue Magic,
Right.
OJ's, the Whispers, the Shy Lights. You're gonna get those traditional Motown steps, but they're gonna add their
Hmm.
own flair to it as well. And both of them, their impact still being felt to this day in their influence. And another person who we're finally celebrating despite what he did in the past. He's not his past, but I'm glad people are appreciating Chris Brown. I mean, 20
Right,
years in the game,
right,
the
right,
Breezy Bowl tour
right,
going. And to be honest, when Chris Brown first came out with Running, I was like, okay, it's nice. But to think of where he's at now, 20 years in, and still selling out, performing, I'm like, man. And to think a little boy from Tappahannock, Virginia, is
right.
still putting up numbers.
I knew he was gonna be a star from the first time I seen him. I just knew he had the star quality in him. He was Michael Jackson. He was Michael Jackson from the beginning, and it's just the unfortunate event that happened kind of put a nail in that Michael Jackson status because he was on
Mhm.
his way. Once he made the Forever song and had the Double Mint gum sponsorship, and he was on his way, and then that the unfortunate event just stopped it. But his fan base was not gonna let him stay down. I'm a
Mhm.
Chris Brown fan from day one. I'm going to Breezy Bowl actually next week in Phoenix. I'll be at Breezy Bowl. Like I'm 20 years in the game is insane, and it's never. He's only getting better.
Mhm.
Like he's like Usher is getting better, but Usher's not putting out the albums that he should be right now. But Chris
Mhm.
Brown is constantly just getting better. Like he needs a Super
Mhm.
Bowl. He needs a Super Bowl halftime show. And I know
Yeah.
the powers that be won't allow it, but I'm petitioning for Chris Brown to have a Super Bowl show. Like
Yeah.
that happened when he was young. We get it. We all make mistakes, but it's time to move on past that at some
Yeah.
point in his life. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Let that man cook. He's the one that I will pay top dollar to go see live.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He'll give you
And
a
we and
show.
we paid some good money to go see Chris. We saw Chris last year in LA for the 11/11. That was my first time seeing him live, and I was blown away. And so I was like, yeah, we definitely got to go to the next one. So
Mhm.
we're gonna be there next week in
Ye-
Arizona.
Yeah, yeah, he's definitely one of those ones. He's cut from that cloth of, like you mentioned, of Michael Jackson, of the greats that came before him,
Mm-hmm.
really studied, and Beyonce is from that same cloth as
Right,
well. And
right,
to just see how people gravitate towards her whenever she goes on tour, it's like the beehive is deep,
oh, very
and
deep, very deep.
and they'll come for you if you try to talk sideways.
Absolutely, you're not getting away with no Beyonce slander at all. Like she was here in Vegas, and I knew people that never came to Vegas before came and saw Beyonce, and they didn't even come see my show. They went straight to see her at this football stadium, and it's sold out. You selling out a football stadium back to back, like ridiculous,
Mhm. Yeah,
ridiculous.
it's nuts because when you think about her artistry and just her impact and her influence, it kind
Mm-hmm.
of has that Michael Jackson effect. Because when my wife and I we went on our family vacation down to Galveston a couple months back, and we
Mm-hmm.
were flying out, and most of the people on our flight were going down to H Town for the Cowboy Carter tour because she was doing a 2 night stand at Energy Stadium in Houston. So I'm just like, yo, that's crazy. You having people wearing cowboy gear and
Right,
just
right,
really just
right,
to have that type of level of influence. It's cool, but at the same time, you're just like, oh, people hang on to my every word and
right,
expect
right.
responsibility that comes with that.
She changes. She's the only artist I know that can change genres of music, and her fan base doesn't decline.
Mm,
Like you're not gonna have. I hate to keep saying Usher, but Usher couldn't jump into rock and roll and his fan base go, "Oh, we go listen to Usher do rock and roll now." But
mm,
like Beyonce, she's going country. Her next album I'm hearing is rock and roll, like
mm,
Little Richard type rock and roll, like the original rock and roll. So
mm,
like her fan base doesn't change. They're gonna listen to whatever she puts out, and that's called true artistry.
mm,
And she doesn't do the music and be like a character. She's not
mm,
playing when she does the music. She puts the same effort into the country as she do
mm,
into her normal music, and that's what we need today. Like
mm.
she's not making music for the algorithm, and that's why
Right,
her fan base is the way it is.
right. And I was curious, have you seen or heard of the Netflix show Building the Band?
I've heard about it. I just haven't watched it yet. I haven't watched it
Okay.
yet.
Yeah, I saw it. It's a cool experiment where they invited, I think, 50 singers and you
Mhm.
go into these booths. It's a mix of American Idol, The Voice, Love is Blind, making the band where you're building the band blind, sight unseen,
Right.
which is
That seems like a
crazy.
cool concept.
Yeah, which is crazy. And it kind of got me thinking that a lot of the kids now they want to experience the groups like we had it back when we were kids, like the New Editions, the Troops, Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, Boys to Men, Five, LFO. But I
Right.
think everything, at least with social media now, is catered towards more on the solo side of things. And
Right.
even when you look at all the videos that came out with kids, doing their own version of New Edition, doing the songs and everything. It just got
Hmm.
me thinking like they really want to experience and be in a group.
Right. I mean, kids like the New Edition residency here actually had kids there. Like kids were going to see New Edition, and the movie actually kids watch the movie. Like kids want that, but it's these labels don't want to put in the work to develop a group. They want you to
Mm-hmm.
come into the label as a group already, and that's kind of hard to do when you're dealing with multiple personalities. And then the social media aspect of it all is like you go into a label meeting, and they want to know how many followers do you have, how many social media posts do you post, like, do you post 4 times a day on TikTok? And you're not going to get 4 or 5 people in a group that have that same work ethic before they actually go into the label. So that's the
Mm-hmm.
thing. Like now, you actually, if you find somebody that wants to put the work into a group, you'll have a successful group. But we just
Mm-hmm.
don't have any A&Rs anymore who want to put in that work and develop that group to take to a label instead of bringing that group to the label already. And I see a lot of kids out here. There's a group. I can't think of the name right now. I'll think of it later, but it's a group of boys. I think it's 4 of them, and they are actually good. But it's just
Mm-hmm.
a matter of what label is the label going to take time to develop them.
Right.
But it's a few. I think it's our 2 or 3 groups that could actually be something. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that they let that department go in record labels now, so nobody wants to take that time to work.
Yeah, because like with social media, like you mentioned, it's the new A&R, and then you gotta
Right,
almost come to them already ready to go, ready to roll out,
right,
and nobody really wants to take time to do development. Where we're gonna do a developmental deal with you. You could be in the lab cooking. We're gonna cook you up some stuff. Because when you think
right.
about Backstreet Boys and NSYNC, they weren't signed to their deals right away. They were
Mm-mm.
developed. They were seasoned. They had to go overseas first to
Right,
cut their teeth,
right.
and by the time they came back to America, they were ready.
Right. And then they would do malls. Like nobody doing mall concerts no more. The Britney Spears, New Edition, the Jackson 5, where you go to a mall and you singing. You building your fan base from the ground up. Nobody's doing it no more. You're building your fan base from the followers. And I mean, the followers aren't really consuming music like that when it comes to purchase. So
Mm-hmm.
like the labels aren't really, they don't care how much, they labels just care about how much money can, if we put your song on Spotify, do you have enough followers on Instagram that's going to translate to streams?
Right.
And that's what sucks.
Yeah, but at the same time too, it kind of makes you feel that we're not gonna have that legacy act like a New
Right,
Edition, like a Backstreet Boys, or
right,
Boys to Men, where we're still gonna be singing their stuff 10, 20, 30 years down the line. It's all about the now. Whereas back when we were kids, we had to make that investment. Were we gonna spend that hard-earned $20 on
right,
this trash CD or tape at Camelot? Or we gonna go
right,
spend 25 at the mom and pop record store because we were invested in the artist and in the stuff
right.
because we had to literally sit and listen to a record and make a full investment in it because we're paying our hard-earned money for it. Whereas now
Exactly.
you could just click, download. If I don't like it, I can swipe left, go find something else.
Right. You just pay a subscription fee, and now it's Columbia House Records. You paying a penny for 100 CDs, but it's all on your phone. And if you don't want to listen to it, it's out the door. I listen to a bunch of new artists. Like I don't even listen to big artists as much as I used to because now I'm listening
Mm,
to the artists who I feel like would be that artist that I would listen to back when we was buying records. Like I'm listening to
mm,
artists like Samo from North Carolina. He's
mm.
actually like if you haven't heard Samo, it's Thomas spelled backwards. He's from I think Wilson, North Carolina,
Okay.
and he's probably one of the best male vocalists out today.
Mm,
Samo, Duran Bernard, it's an artist named Cache that I've been listening to. She's about to blow. um K1, like it's artists that I listen to that I know what gives me that feeling that back in the day when I would go buy a record. Because these big name artists, I listen to their song one time and I'm done with it. Like it's
right.
microwave music. It's
Mm.
microwave music.
Yeah, because as we're seeing, coming into the game, if you artist and new. If you ain't got the machine back and you ain't got,
Right.
it's gonna be
Right.
tough to get in because you're gonna
Right.
still have to pay to play, because with some of those streaming services you gotta pay to get on, you
Mhm.
gotta have the little bots to do the click and the likes and all that. So it's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes that people think, oh, I could just click upload and send. Nope, you got
Right.
other stuff behind the
Right.
scenes, and you gotta have a lot of folks backing you in order to make sure you get that push to get
Right.
over.
You got to have the machine. Like we hearing now that it's coming out that a rapper, I'm not gonna say their name, but they just paid $50,000 to get their artist to the number one spot. They just paid for streaming for $50,000, and then they talking about how they just pushed their album to number one, and they got a plug who can like push their albums to number one. It's crazy to think that you will never win as an independent artist if you got artists that are making 100,000 to $1 million and they got enough money to just pay to become the number one album, and
Yeah,
the game is not fair anymore. The game is
yeah,
rigged.
yeah. So this is the new payola, new indie record promoters. Only thing
Right,
is, you ain't
right,
paying in nose candy and other illicit favors anymore.
exactly, exactly. But the artists are getting paid in nose candy because if you spending 50,000 to become number one, you ain't the revenue you make back. It ain't worth it. Are you breaking even? Actually, are you breaking even if you paying 100,000 to get your record to number one, and then Spotify you got to have to get $1, you got to have 1,000 streams. So it's like you might just break even. It just look good. It just look good.
And they probably got a warehouse where they're printing out bootleg records of the artists, two sets of accounting books, and a long list of DJs taking payola. If you know, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Quotes.
Big Red Records.
Exactly. Big
Office
red
hours are
record.
from 9 to 5.
9 to 5.
9 to 5. Now I see you rocking a Colorado bus
Oh
hat
yeah.
on. So
Oh
let's
yeah.
talk about the Coach Prime effect and how when he came to Colorado, it
Oh
kind
yeah.
of started this shift where you're having other coaches jumping to the foray. We got Michael Vick making his coaching debut this year at
Right.
Norfolk State, Deshaun Jackson at Delaware State, Eddie George went from Tennessee State to Bowling Green. And of
Right.
course, tonight, as we're recording this interview, Bill Belichick will be making his coaching debut at Carolina, taking on TCU in
Oh
Chapel
yeah.
Hill at James Keenan Memorial Stadium. Just talk about just how Coach Prime really changed the way big schools looking at college athletics as far as football, and just how now college students, they are able to make money off
Oh
the
yeah.
name, image, and likeness, as to where for the longest time NCAA said, nah, you
Right.
got these 4 year, 1 year scholarships, and that's it. In a monthly
Right.
stipend, and that's it. But now you get to make all the paper.
Right. I mean, well, me personally, I'm a huge Colorado fan, and I'm a Coach Prime fan. I was fans when he was at Jackson State. If you can see back there in the back, I got the Colorado last year's schedule. I got the Shador jersey right there where he playing for, for the Browns. I got like four buff jerseys in my closet, different players. I'm actually going to Colorado on Friday for the game on Saturday. I'm a Colorado fan, and it's Coach Prime. He changed the game. He made it to where you could be flashy and you could be cool and go to college and make a little bit of money. If it wasn't for Coach Prime, I think that the NCAA 27 or 25 game wouldn't have came out. It was all about like everybody had eyes on Travis Hunter and Shador, and that's what made them put that game out. And people can deny it if they want, but the Coach Prime effect really changed college football over the past few years, and making like Travis Hunter went to a HBCU, which was unheard of in this day and age. Like you might have like you have Shannon Sharps, you have your other HBCUs, but to have a player who was projected to go to a big college and then he switched and went to a HBCU and made a name there, it's crazy. Like Coach Prime is doing what he's supposed to do when it comes to that. And now you got the Colorado culture has changed. I went to Colorado last year for the Usher concert, and we went to the college, and that's where I met Shador. Like he saw me, he spoke to me, whatever. But that college campus, people are there now. Their black student ratio has jumped. It made people want to go to Colorado. Like the area just he brought the culture to Colorado, and he's gonna keep bringing the culture to Colorado. People can hate him if he want, but Coach Prime is here. Like it put different eyes on college football, and put so many eyes on white colleges to because they
Mm.
gotta play Colorado. Selling out games is they weren't selling out games.
Nah, man. Boulder finally got some seasoning in their food. I mean, they
Oh
were
yeah,
turning into
oh
mini
yeah,
Geo now.
Oh, I mean, I'm telling you, they home. We was there for homecoming. It was around homecoming time when we went last year, and I mean, this it was people on campus already going into the bookstores, going into the trying to just buying merch, and I'm like, who are these old black people look like they supposed to be on Ant campus? They over on Colorado campus just hanging out and like taking pictures and wanting to meet the students and the players, and it like they never see anything like this, and to be accepting of it is what I love. I love that they
Mhm.
accept it. They didn't push it away and be like, "Oh no, we don't want this in our area." They accepted it, and that's what's love. They giving them all the love over there.
Yeah, popping out, and then to think about the coaching staff that he has too. You got Warren Sapp on
One
staff.
step,
You got
right,
Marshall Falk on staff.
right.
You got Byron Leftwich, who just got put on the staff. I mean, these players are getting teachings from guys that got the gold jackets.
Gold Jackets, and we just had Randy Moss over there last week, and I got a feeling that they go pull him on staff real soon too. So yeah,
Yeah,
and
right.
Leftwich he might be switching over to offensive coordinator real soon because I don't know what's going on with Pat Shermer, but yeah, we need to get Leftwich up there on that offensive coordination.
Yeah, and then to think about, we mentioned Travis Hunter, ended up transferring to Colorado, Heisman Trophy winner last
Right,
year,
right,
and he's getting ready to play his NFL debut against my beloved Carolina Panthers
right,
in
right.
Duval. That's how you
Yes,
say it.
sir.
And shout out to Hendon Hooker, 336 native, Dudley alum, just got signed to the Panthers practice squad. I believe his
Yep,
dad
yep.
played football at A&T, so it's great to see the homecoming for him. The come back to the home squad.
Right.
And, with Vegas, there's so many options for shows on the strip. What was it like for you to know that, okay, we're getting in the Westgate, and just think about the legacy and the history of the Westgate and all the acts that performed at the Westgate, that I am standing on the stage performing where Elvis stood, where so
Right.
and so stood, where so and so stood, and to say, man, I got to come with it.
As soon as we got the call to do Westgate, I already knew that the Westgate was where Elvis pretty much like when he came to Vegas, that was his home. So I was already excited because I'm probably one of the only Elvis fans out of my friend group, and I've been an Elvis fan for a long time. Like I love Elvis. I've been to Graceland, so to be at the place that he built pretty much was surreal to me. Like stepping on that stage, the stage that we perform in is the Cabaret Room, which you had acts like Cameo, like Barbara Streisand. Like there's been people in that room, and then we just performed in the international room where Elvis was at, and that felt wild. Being on that same stage that Elvis was on, like big names. We just had Morris Day and the Time there a couple weeks ago, and to know that I was just like on that stage at the same time, being right there and seeing him, and knowing that he performed there, and I went backstage when we performed, and I saw all the pictures on the wall of all the artists that has performed in the international. It's ridiculous. Like Jamie Foxx, Steve Harvey, you got like anybody that you can think of, comedy, music has been on that stage. Like Earth, Wind and Fire, Cool and the Gang. Cool and the Gang actually has a residency there too. They do every few months. So it's been cool to like meet them and take pictures with them and talk to them and like they like Cool in the Gang, Frankie Valli, which like I said, my first solo ever was 16 Candles, the Jersey Boys version. So to
Mhm.
know that now I'm performing in the same place as the person who sang my first solo ever, and we're
Mhm.
basically co-workers,
Mhm.
it's crazy. God
Crazy.
really like set my steps. I just followed where he wanted me to go, and
Right.
and that's where I'm at now doing the Motown show.
Right. And let's talk about this one guy who, if you know, you know. If you've seen the Jacksons and American Dream, this man played Jackie Wilson. He was also signed to RCA Records back in the
Yes,
day,
sir.
had a record called Sticks and Stones. And then his
Sticks
sons formed
and
a group
stones.
called Brother. One of his sons played Eric in Saved by the Bell, the new class. So let's
Right.
talk about Grady Harrell.
Man, that Grady Harrell is the man, man. He's a Vegas legend. When I say everybody here knows him and respects him, like meeting him, I got to sing on a song with him, Bubba Knight, um, uh, what's his name, E Train. Like I got to sing on a song with all these legends a couple months ago for a benefit, and it was so crazy being in the studio with the legends of Vegas, and just talking to him and learning from him and everything. And he actually still performs now. They just did a Temptations tribute show over the weekend, and like he's great. I can't wait to like meet his sons or whatever because I'm fans of them as well. But Grady Harrell is definitely somebody that I looked up to when I was even younger, and I told him that I was a fan, and like he's killing it out here, man. He's killing it, and his son was actually the voice of young Michael, like the young Michael on the Jackson
Oh
5
wow,
movie. He
wow!
sang the Climb Every Mountain song.
I did not know that because I went back
Oh, yeah.
and looked at the Sticks and Stones video and like the
Mhm.
dancing in that video.
Was
Woo, I mean, to go from
crazy.
a backflip into a split.
That man's still out there dancing his tail off, man. He is still out there dancing his tail off. Like it's crazy. And he's so friendly and he's so much full of joy. And when you meet him, it's like you've been knowing him for a long time. He
Mm,
actually did, he actually filled in before I came back from tour. We had a situation where we needed a swing, and he
mm,
actually filled in to the show that I'm in now. He actually came in and did a couple shows for us in that
mm.
show. Like, so he's a part of Solo Motown as well when it comes to that. Like, it's crazy.
Right, and switching the sports side in Vegas. It seemed like for the longest time, the professional sports leagues wouldn't do business with Vegas because of the whole gambling thing. But as you're pointing in the background, we got the Las Vegas Aces
Yes,
jerseys.
sir.
We're getting ready to have the A's move to Vegas once their stadium
Right,
gets built over where Tropicana used to
right.
be. And then if the NBA decides to expand again, I believe Las Vegas will be in the front of the line. But that
Hmm.
also started with UNLV because UNLV kind of set the tone for everything to come with all the sports teams coming to Vegas. And, when you think about it, Coach Tark, rest in peace. And then, of course, you get hit Reggie Theus, Mark
Hmm.
Gillian, Larry Johnson,
Larry Johnson
Amos
had Grandmama out
Blunt,
there.
and to just think how UNLV kind of set the stage for that. Whereas now it's not looked as dirty to put a professional sports team in Vegas.
Exactly. I mean, we have two of the world's champions. We got Las Vegas Knights and we got the Aces who brought home championships back to back, really. So I mean, and the Aces might bring home another one this year. That's I love the Aces. Like Solar Motown is a part of the Aces family. We sing the national anthem there. We done the halftime show there. Like we're friends with the staff over there. Mark Davis, we're cool with. Mark Davis owns the Raiders and he owns the Aces. So like a basketball team is on the way. A basketball team is definitely on the way. LeBron is definitely bringing the team to Vegas, and I feel like Mark is going to have his hand in that too. So and we just got a volleyball professional volleyball team,
Mhm.
lacrosse. Our indoor football team just won championship this year. Little League baseball, they just went to the World Championships. Vegas is definitely becoming the entertainment and the sports capital of America. It's definitely.
Yeah, yeah, because I'm thinking a lot of people still have that misconception of Vegas is all casinos, smoke-filled
Nope.
rooms, and
Nope.
tapioca pudding and depends. Whereas it's, hey, everybody depends on depends, bruh. But
Exactly.
there's so
Hey,
much
shout out
stuff for
Coach
you to
Prime.
do. Yeah, hey, I depend on depends, not me, but somebody that depends on depends.
Hey,
But
Coach
any,
Prime
but
now has a sponsorship with
yeah,
Depends.
it
So
depends on depends. But anyways, Vegas, it's a lot to do other than just lose your money and go see shows. I mean, there's
mhm,
family friendly stuff for the kids, whatnot, what have you. There's your adult fare, and we mentioned
mhm.
all of the musical acts performing. Now, being on the strip and perform, what do you do when it's an off day? Do you like to go off strip to do stuff,
Oh yeah.
or do you still stay on the strip to do stuff, or do you like to do your stuff off strip?
Oh no, I actually live off strip. I live about 20-25 minutes off strip in Summerlin. So I can see the strip out my window, but I rarely go to the strip. I let the tourists go over there and have a crazy time. But I go to the strip when it's time for work. And whenever me and my wife want to be tourists, we'll go over to the strip. We'll go see some shows, go to games, and hang out. But other than that, like it's so much more to do in Vegas than to be on the strip. The strip is just a small piece of Vegas. But if
Mm,
you get outside of the strip and go to Henderson, go to Summerlin, go to North Vegas, there's so much more to do than just be on the strip. And people really don't know that because they only
mm,
see that 4 or 5 mile radius. But no,
mm.
it's the strip is just a small part. There's so many local restaurants, black owned restaurants here in Vegas. There's so much to do. Like even when you go to the movies, you go to bowling alleys outside of the strip where it costs way less. I mean, there's even shows off strip. You can go to South Point. You can go to Red Rock. They perform like Marlon just did a comedy special at Red Rock. Like you can leave the strip and actually have a good time without even being in the hustle and bustle of being over there. Yeah.
I will tell you though, for first timers going to Vegas, get that Vegas monorail pass on the strip, cause you gonna fool yourself thinking, oh, it's just a short walk from Paris to Caesars.
Nope.
No sir,
Nah.
no
Mm-mm.
sir. Don't play yourself.
Unless you like walking 5 miles inside of an oven, nah. If you want to go from the Strat to Venetian, it's gonna take you about 30-minute walk. And that's not even a mile of the strip. So from the Strat all the way down to Mandalay Bay, which is the end of the strip, get on the monorail. Take the monorail. It just don't think you can do it. Like you might can do it at night if you're young and it's not really hot out. But if you bar hopping and casino hopping, just going in and out, but you're not gonna walk that whole strip and like you're not. I tried it and it's not it. It's not it.
Nah, that ain't the move. And then all the spots too, even if you just looking to park just to hop and go or whatever, you're gonna pay that per hour parking fee. I'm gonna tell you
Oh
that
yeah.
right now.
Oh yeah.
You will pay that.
Oh yeah. Unless you're local and you can get the free 3 hours, you're gonna pay for parking. Like if you rent a car, just park it somewhere like at the Westgate or and pay that day and just jump on the monorail. Like that's just word of advice from I've been here
Hmm.
for 5 years. Use the monorail. Use the
Hmm.
monorail.
And also too, if you're driving at night, you're gonna be blinded by the lights from the strip. It looks nice and everything, but you're gonna look like Russell Case in Independence Day when the thing go up and say, "Hello, boys, I'm back," because the lights are all
Yeah,
pretty and stuff, and you can get easily distracted. Also, too,
right.
if you are this like we are, it ain't the place for you to be like I'll go relive my life like I was in Riverwalk or Grogan. No, that ain't for you.
Nah.
That
What
those
stays in
days are
Vegas don't
over.
stay in Vegas, right? What stays in Vegas don't stay in Vegas no more. We
Nope,
got cell phones now. Like,
nope,
mm-mm.
nope.
Don't come out here trying to be is not. And be careful out here, man. If you think you about a pretty girl walking up to you in the casino and you think she really like you, nah, those are carpet strollers. They really in here trying to make that money. They are out in Vegas. If they coming up to you at the bar, I see it every day. The girls at the bar talking to a man, and you like, she don't really like him like that. But they don't be out on the stroll. You might catch a couple out on the stroll, but they inside. It's way more air conditioning on the inside of these casinos. Like, don't let it
Yeah,
fool you.
yeah. They trying to set you up.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. And be careful. It's they out here like putting in some dangerous work. These girls out here putting in dangerous work. It's go check out the news if you think you're
Yeah,
coming out here being yeah.
yeah. It's wild. So protect yourself, protect your money, protect your money, protect your money, protect your
Uh-huh.
money. Don't
Uh-huh.
think you're gonna hit for a lick in Vegas and think like, nah, man, I'm gonna keep going. Vegas gonna get their money.
Oh yeah.
They're gonna try to
Oh yeah.
entice you with half off rooms, comp this, comp that. They gonna get their money back. So as soon as
Oh
you
yeah.
hit for your
Oh yeah.
lick, leave the table.
Take it and go. Take it and go. I've learned the hard way a few times by being up $700-800 and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna hit this $5,000 jackpot, and you go down to 25 cents and you just get up and walk away. Yeah,
Mm-mm.
it don't like and yeah, play the tables. The best thing to do out here is sports betting. That's a if you know like if you want to make a quick dollar, sports betting is where it's at.
Yeah, but
But
that's
the
kind of
tables,
dicey. That's kind of dicey too. Sports betting not to cut you off, but if you don't know spreads and everything, like me, if I
right,
was a betting
right,
man, I don't do, but if I was a betting man, I would just do a straight up. I ain't got time to be watching who covered the spread, who did this,
right,
who that. I
yeah,
just want to pick and see who win. But I know
right,
some people they sweating over them parlays because some of y'all probably put y'all rent money on the line.
right. And not I said the crow. I do not. I play a little bit, just having some fun, like I'm playing a PlayStation, and like I'm not betting $1 million on nothing. Like it's just fun for me. But yeah, some people out here, it's a lot of homeless people out here who used to have money and
Mm.
now they gambled it away, and now they out in the corner. I've seen a doctor out there asking for money.
Wow, it's crazy.
Yeah,
But it'd be really wild, bro, if Vegas were to put like spades and Uno tables in one of the casinos, dog.
we actually have. it's not a Uno table, but they had a Uno pop up at Palms, and it was in one of the rooms, and it was an Uno room that you can rent out the suite, and it was like Uno themed, and they had Uno table in
Mm-hmm.
that room, and they had
Mm-hmm.
like a false advertisement going around, and everybody was thinking that Vegas was bringing Uno, but
Mm-hmm.
it was at the Palms for a pop up, and a lot of people said they had a lot of fun out there, but we need spades and Uno and probably like goldfish. That'll be a table.
Yeah, I just started playing spades. I ain't there yet. I ain't there
Me
to go to
neither.
Vegas
Me
or be
neither.
in somebody's table. I just
Me
started.
neither.
Thank you to Blackening. But I just know when that Uno pop-up announcement came, folks were looking to see what flight said we could hit for a nice little lit. Come on, partner.
They people thought it was, but people really thought that Uno was coming to Vegas. They was booking rooms.
Yeah,
They
they
was
thought it
coming
was
to lose
going
all their money.
down. It was going down.
We ain't got that kind of security out here. We ain't got
Nah,
that kind of security.
nah,
People get
nah,
shot out here for less.
nah,
So
nah. Cause you
Uno,
know how serious it gets with Uno and with spades too, especially if you throw down the wrong card too.
right,
You don't know what you're
right,
doing,
right.
it can get real serious. Now, me, if it was Trivial Pursuit or some board game or something like that, let me get into the Trivial Pursuit pop culture game. Then I'll put
Right.
belt the butt real quick. Hey, how much for this category? 80s pop culture. I'll put down a good stat, and I bet you I
Hey, they
won't
do that.
lose.
It's some bars out here that actually do good money trivia nights. It's some
Oh,
bars that do
they
good
be
money
putting
trivia
money
nights.
down on trivia
Oh
night.
yeah. Oh yeah.
A word.
Oh yeah. You might have to yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
That's how like
Hmm.
I'm going to bingo real soon. They do like a 90s theme bingo night.
What?
I'm headed out. I'm going to do that real soon. Like it's some stuff to do. I like advice. That's why I say it's something for everybody out here. Like Dave and Buster's is cool, but they have arcades out here that are just like mind blowing.
Yeah,
Like
but
it's stuff to do.
yeah. Now, if you're a big person for bingo, get at least two cards to play. Now, if you go on a cruise ship, they do bingo different to where instead of one person calling bingo, they have multiple people can call bingo. Now, you hoping that nobody else call bingo because y'all got to split the pot if it's multiple
Right.
bingos. But
Right.
if
Right.
you one bingo, you get the whole pot. One lady took home almost about a good stack, and I'm like, we done paid $36 for two cards. We ain't winning not now. One time, I'm like, this casino ain't getting no more of my funky little money. No, no,
Yeah.
sorry, Bob. Not I.
Yeah.
No, I love keeping my
That
money.
I do too, but sometimes it just get. Sometimes you think you can win a lot. Sometimes it call your name when you walk past a machine that just gave somebody $1 million yesterday. Like somebody just hit for 1.5, I think, on a machine right in front of my casino, like right where I performed. There's a bunch of games. She hit
Mm.
for 1.5 right there, like
Let
two
that be
days.
me. Let that be me, God. Let me hit on the penny slot one good time. I'll give you 20%, and I'm keeping the rest for myself.
I think she had maybe $20 in the machine, and she played a $5 hand and hit for 1.5.
Ooh. Now, is it where when you win in Vegas, a big winnings like that, can he just
Mhm.
automatically tax it out?
Yeah, you can just tax it out. I think yeah, you can just tax it out. A lot of times they just bring it to you in cash, and then they'll just tell you got to pay the taxes later.
Now they give you all the winnings in straight cash.
Depends on what you win. Like a friend of mine who was in the show with me, he won 5,000, and they brought him 5,000 in cash
I wouldn't
and
trust
counted it
having any large sum of money walking around in Vegas like that, especially you got stick up kids coming up too.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Nah, nah.
Imagine the people that come into my casino who've just won big on a sports game. They coming in there winning 200, $300,000 and walking out with a suitcase full of cash. Just like, yeah.
Nah, man, you about to get stuck up like they stuck up Calvin in the Whack Arnold's commercial.
I
Hey, I think Calvin got a
think
job.
Calvin got a
Let's
job.
rob this.
Yeah,
No.
I'm telling you, I see it. I'll be in that casino sometimes and be in the sports book, and you see like Mattress Mac or whatever his name is, Mattress Max, whatever. He's an
Mm,
older guy who owns a furniture store. He could
mm.
come in there with $2 million in cash and put it on the game. And
What?
then he'll
Two,
walk out.
two,
He'll
two
walk
million
out,
in cash and just put it down like it's nothing.
put it at the take it to the sports book or bet, or he'll bet on the game and he'll win and he take all his money in a briefcase and go to a private jet, get on up out of there.
No, man, you asking yourself to get robbed, man. Don't stop at no checkers late at night. Somebody pull up on
Exactly,
you. I want
exactly.
your car, I want your Dayton's, I want your stereo, and I'll take
I
a
want
double
all
burger
that.
with cheese.
And I'll take a Checkers burger with cheese and some fries.
Let me get
That's
a
what I'm
checkers
telling you.
burgers and fries. Come on, man. We're supposed to be brothers. Are we trying to get
Exactly.
smart?
Exactly.
That don't get gat, man, because Vegas is a city where everybody's looking for a come up. It's either
Oh
you're
yeah.
gonna get a come up from the machines or somebody's gonna come up by hitting you for a lick.
Right. And it's open carry state. It's an open carry state, people. Remember that. We got him out here. I see Mark Davis, the owner of the Raiders. He be at my casino all the time in his little white outfit with a crossbody bag. I know he holding a lot of money. I know he by himself. He don't care. Like he just living his life
Word.
regular.
You the owner of the Raiders and you rolling solo dolo in
Solo.
Vegas?
Solo. He'll be at a table playing poker, no security around him, just regular. He's a regular guy. Like he's so cool. He's so down to earth. He wears this like the same outfit all the time. I think he got a closet full of white t-shirts and white pants, and that's it. And he just like one of the richest people I know personally. Like it's crazy.
That's how the rich stay richer. Also, too, Summer League in Vegas looks cracking because seeing it out there, everybody and their mama be out there. Even some of the guys who are in the league come through and see some of the young guys trying to get on the teams or
Mhm.
their top rookie picks come and showcase themselves. It seems like Summer League is really taking a life of its own out in Vegas too.
Oh yeah, Summer League is pretty much like NBA All Star Weekend here. Like it's really they play over at UNLV. They play over at the Thomas and Mack, and it's really you'll see some of everybody out there for Summer League. People fly in like it's a major event for Summer League, and we actually got the HBCU Classic coming to Vegas this year. So
Yeah.
it's a lot. Vegas is actually some of everything for everybody.
Yeah, little something for the people. Now, we mentioned the show that you're in. Do you have
Mhm.
any other projects besides that, or does that consumes most of your time as far as you not
That
being able to
consumes
do
a
it?
lot of my time, but I'm still doing production work. So if anybody needs production, let me know. Like I've been doing stuff for movies and video games and like doing production for that. So like I'm looking to get a couple more of my production stuff and some games coming out soon and a couple movie credits that I'm trying to get. But other than that, I'm just working on little things here and there, like nothing too major. I'm looking for some writers so that I can kind of work on a project. But other than that, most of my time goes to Solo Motown 5 nights a week, every week. So yeah, that's about it.
So how is that grind doing 5 nights a week residency? How taxing is it on the body? And is it almost kind of like how Broadway, how you have your one off day and then you just go, 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 go?
Yeah, it's we have 2 off days a week here. And I mean it's only about a good 75, 80 minute show. So it's really not as bad as you would think. It's very taxing because me and the other two guys, we actually on stage for 90% of the show, dancing and singing the whole time. And then the Lady of Soul that's in our show, she comes out and she sings some songs. But it's when you get these old knees like I got that's been dancing for 35 years, it kind of it's taxing, but we love it. I love what I do, so I appreciate being able to still be able to go out there and do it like these young kids do it. So yeah.
Yeah, it seemed like all the years of hopping off the swing set with the knees probably done did you in.
Yeah, I gotta get an oil change.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
time for an oil change with these knees. I jump out of swing now. I'm out of commission.
Now
No
I
sir.
never understood that. I never did that. Why was it popular why folks would swing off the swings and jump like they doing the long jump, thinking that these knees gonna last forever. Now when you try
Adrenaline.
to bend over, it's
Yep. Adrenaline, man. We were adrenaline junkies growing up. We wanted to do everything that we saw on TV. We wanted to do it all. Like that's what my child, when I do have a kid,
Mhm.
I'm buying them swing sets, I'm buying them outdoor stuff because these kids nowadays they wouldn't know the first thing about jumping out of a swing or flipping up over the pole or the swing or kicking each other, playing like doing all that stuff. Like that we just was adrenaline junkies, man.
Yeah, man, those pencil knuckle fights on the back of the bus in somebody's
Oh man.
classrooms,
Yep.
man, the field trips on the activity bus, man, because you at least had to have a little money in your pocket because if you didn't and they stopped somewhere to get something to eat, you was
Oh
eating
yeah.
that white bag lunch.
You go have you a potted meat sandwich and some animal crackers. That's what
Yeah,
you about to
I'm like, no, like, mama, let me at least get $20 so I can go to McDonald's and get some. So it was that and book fair. Those are the only
Right.
times where I made
Right.
sure money was in my pocket because I didn't want
Book
to be the
fair, boy.
sad soul pointing and laughing while the kids getting books, bookmarkers, and a poster. And you sitting there looking like, oh, you ain't getting nothing.
Nope. Nope. I
Nope.
buy books to this day because of my trauma from not having money at the book fair. I see a book I want now. I get it. Like I got adult money. Like I'm gonna buy a
Yeah.
book because back then it was traumatizing not having money to get a book.
Yeah. Now I knew
No,
a few
sir.
kids back in the day that used to slang those Pizza Hut bucket certificates.
Oh yeah, accelerator reader, and you get the Pizza Hut coupon because you read a book or you told them that you read the book over the summer. Sell that thing for
But like,
$5.
where did your line start? Me when I filled out them reading logs?
When I told them I read Wuthering Heights and I didn't read it, I don't know nothing about that book.
Now, I read it because I was one of those kids the librarian would let check out two books at a time because I was a fast reader. But some of
uh,
y'all didn't top AR. Some of y'all didn't watch Reading Rainbow, and it shows.
I watched Read Rainbow, but that accelerator reader, I had plenty of points. But did I read the books all the time?
No,
Nope.
no, I was in Battle of the Books too. I was in Quiz Bowl, so so
See, yeah, you was academically
yeah, yeah,
achieving in the
yeah.
game.
Yeah, I was that nerd that the guy was talking about with the chicken sandwich and waffle fries for free when he took the lady to the silver ball someplace in the
To the
mall.
silver ball.
To the silver ball someplace in the mall. Told her, give me the chicken sandwich and waffle fries for
For
free.
free.
For free. I can't go back Chick-fil-A and think about that skit. Now, speaking of chicken, I noticed
Yeah,
Bojangles have been expanding to other parts of the U.S., but I
right.
hear that folks out here are getting finesse because it's not the full menu.
Super finesse. Like Vegas, they had signs up here in Vegas for Bojangles for months, and we were excited. Like I shed a tear knowing that Bojangles was coming to Vegas. And when I got there and realized it was just chicken tenders and not even the Supremes, yeah, I wanted to burn the establishment to the ground. It was I wanted to burn it down. Like they ain't got no cheer wine. They ain't got no cherry soda. The seasoned fries a little iffy. The sweet tea is never sweet because people on the West Coast can't make sweet tea. Like the
Nope.
best sweet tea on the West Coast I probably had is from Jack in the Box, maybe. But when it comes to Bojangles here, if you want bone-in chicken, do not go there. You're gonna be upset. It's gonna make you mad,
Yeah, you got to go to North Carolina, somewhere in the South to get it, and it's
right?
the real deal. And also, you may need to call Cookout and me tell them to bring a franchise to Vegas. I mean,
Man, if
make it happen, make
if
it
I had
happen,
the
dog.
money, that's
Make
been a dream. I told my wife that I said if we get the money, we about to open up a cookout out here, man, because they opening Whataburgers out here. They
Whataburger's
opening
overrated.
very overrated, just like In and Out. They got In and Out here, but when I say people here eat In and Out and Canes like they put crack in it, I
Overrated.
don't I don't get it. It's not good at all. Like it's probably the worst chicken I've ever had in my life is from Raising Canes,
Yes,
and the lines be out the driveway.
overrated. Just like how now with KFC, since they brought back the wings and wedges, dog, I been at KFC like Tyrone Biggums, man.
I've been there. I asked my wife. I done had the KFC barbecue wings and wedges 3 times last week. Three different times. 3 different times. Oh my God. I'm like, thank you, Lord. And I went there maybe well, it was today. Today is Monday. I went there probably
Mm,
Thursday night, Friday night.
uh,
They didn't have the barbecue wings. I was so upset. I had to get the hot honey. I was hurt.
sick.
My heart was hurt.
Sick,
Like I'm
man.
telling you.
But also too, thinking about how out in Vegas, I think they got Waffle House out there, right?
Mm-mm,
They ain't got Waffle House out there.
mm-mm.
I know they got Waffle House in Arizona. Now that's the closest. Well, not for me, because in Albuquerque they have two Waffle Houses.
Mm,
But
mm.
the Waffle House, it's okay, but it don't have that Southern charm like back home where you can
Right,
get sugar baby, honey, darling. And you may see a
right,
fight while when
right.
you're getting your All-Star special.
Right. That's that. If you ain't got the fight and the cook with no gloves on, the food ain't gonna taste right. Like
No.
it just ain't gonna taste right. Like we got some spots out here that are pretty good, but it's nothing like a good southern meal.
Mm-mm.
We got some
Nah.
Lolo's chicken and waffles though. Lolo's
Okay.
chicken and waffles is pretty good out here. Like
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
that's
Yeah.
a good one.
Yeah, because the spots I normally go to when I come out there, get grits is right across from Boys and Girls Club, and
Hmm.
then Eminem Soul Food Cafe, which is another good spot.
I don't know if they still around or I just haven't been there. But
Yeah,
I've
it's
been
been
to I
years
went to
ago
Grits
since.
recently.
Yeah, it's been years ago since I went to Eminem, so I don't know if they closed or whatnot. But nah, but grits is great. It looked kind of sketchy though because it was tucked in the cut. There's
It
like a
is.
little, there's a little beauty salon spot right there. But
Right,
nah,
right,
but the food was great though.
right. There's it's a couple out here. You can go to like Darla's, Ella M's, like I said, Lolo's. You got Sister Kim's, um, DB's Cajun Kitchen, Taste Buds. There's some spots out here. Stuff My Turkey is is a spot too. That's like the turkey legs. Like that's a good spot too.
Almost kind of
Yeah,
sound like what the Turkey Hut was down in Houston.
right,
That was a good spot before it ended up shutting down. But yo, if you
right.
ever go to Houston, you got to go to Trill Burger.
Trailberg. He was out here for a pop up and I missed it. I was so mad I missed the pop up.
Yo, it's
Yeah.
like that though. It's like that. It was so good I had to run it back before I left.
I never been to Houston, so I'm trying to go to Texas real soon
Y-
and take a little trip. But yeah, I
Yeah,
definitely want to go to Trailburger.
yeah, you gotta go check it out. Houston's really nice. Galleria Mall, really nice. Although some of the stores are very high end, they got a Nobu, so that's how I know it's out my price range. But we just went in there just to go look around. It kind of felt like when you went to the high end store in Four Seasons, and then the
Right,
clerk would ask you,
right.
"Are you looking for something?" Like, no, I'm just looking. It just
No,
felt
I'm just
like me
having a
being
good
the
second.
kid at KB Toy Store when I couldn't get the game that I wanted because it was locked
Right.
behind the counter, and I'm sitting there thinking like, "Mama, can I get this?" Like she like no, and I'm like, why can't you take me to Toys R Us? What's wrong with KB Toy Stores? I'm like, I don't want KB Toy Stores. I want Toys R Us.
Toys R Us had the games that you can touch.
Yeah,
You can
man.
play with Toys R Us
Yeah,
games.
be like, where did your neck problem start? Me when I used to play the demo games, they used to say 15 to 30 minutes. Now I'll be hogging that joint up till my mama was done.
Right,
Where you gonna be at?
right.
Now I'm gonna be right here playing this game.
I'll be in
Um,
electronics. I'll be in
I'll be in
electronics on this
electronics.
game.
Yeah, mama
Exactly.
knew where she could find me. Walden Books, Arcade, or Camelot. One of those three stores in the mall. That's where I
Exactly.
was. That's where I was gonna
Exactly.
be. Exactly. So shout outs you want to give before you go, bro, and plug your socials, man.
I just want to give a shout out to you, my brother. I want to give a shout out for bringing me on. I want to give a shout out to Solar Motown, my Solar Motown family. A shout out to my wife. She held me down. She came into my life when I really needed her. Um, just a shout out to Carolina, man. Shout out to Roland, RIP Roland. You created a monster when you made me, man. Shout out to Ski, the whole Busy Boys family. Shout out to Carolina, man. Like y'all raised me. I just went and got a 336 Carolina tattoo yesterday because I really was been missing home. So just shout out to everybody, man. Shout out, God first. Socials, let me see. Follow me on He Is CJ on everything. You can type in He Is CJ, HEISCJ, all one word on all platforms like Spotify, like all platforms is He Is CJ. If you Google me, it's gonna come up somewhere, man. Like that's what it is. And make sure y'all go to Ticketmaster if y'all in Vegas. Come see Solo Motown 5 nights a week, every Wednesday through Sunday at the Westgate. Come see us, man. It's a Motown show. We're a tribute show. We're not impersonators. We are a tribute show. We show love to the past artists. Like, just come and see us, man.
And you can catch this interview wherever you stream podcasts, Beyond the Album Cover on Facebook, all streaming platforms. When I will have you. One last bonus question: has
That's it.
any living Motown acts been to the show?
I'm not gonna say the acts, but Smokey Robinson's wife came to our show, and she actually called Smokey while I was singing "Ooh Baby Baby" on the phone. Like this is one of my biggest moments in life. She called Smokey while I was singing "Ooh Baby Baby" during the show and said, "This boy is singing this song better than you," and like held the phone while I was singing "Ooh Baby Baby." That was ridiculous to me. She told me that after the show. We had Bubba Knight is like an uncle of the Pips, Gladys Knight's brother.
Mhm.
Um, he came to the show a few times. We've had members of the Spinners come to our show because actually, my big brother, who actually was a member of Solo Motown, he actually created Solo Motown. He's actually the lead singer of the Spinners right now, and
Okay.
he was in a '90s group called oh, it just slipped my mind. They did "Am I Dreaming" remake with
Oh,
Escape.
oh, he was in old school.
He was the lead singer of Old School. That's my big bro, CJ Jefferson. I need to link y'all so you can do
Oh, yeah,
interview him.
bet, bet, bet.
He lives out here in Vegas right now. He
Oh, oh,
came. He yeah, that's like my big brother. He
oh, bet.
yeah, I can definitely put that
Oh, yeah,
together.
for sure, for sure, for
And
sure.
yeah,
And
so he's a lead singer of the Spinners right now. And we've had a few people come out. Barry Gordy's daughter came out. Sherry Gordy, respect to her. She loves us. So yeah, we've had a few people come out.
I bet, man. And then I just want to say this before closing, man, to see your grind, where you started, where you're at. One of the big things for me was went to Vegas maybe about a year or two ago for my son's birthday. And we were riding the monorail and we were passing by Westgate and they showed on the display the show and then saw your face on there and to say, yo, that's my friend, just to see the work you put in, man, and
Yes,
where
sir.
you're at. I'm super proud of you, dog.
Thank
And
you,
you
my brother.
deserve everything that you're getting and all that you'll continue to have. And I'm just super proud as a friend.
Thanks, bro. We just moving up. We moving up, man. We keep the grind going, man. I appreciate you, bro.
Yes, sir. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's give a big thank you. Round of applause for my good friend CJ. CJ, thank you for coming on Beyond the Album Cover, bro. And you're more than welcome anytime.
Absolutely. Glad to come back
Yes.
anytime, bro.
Yes, sir.